Praise the Most High today, family. Praise the Most High today. And I say hallelujah to the Most High Elohim, Yahuwah, through Yahushua HaMashiach. Praise the Most High today. Family, it is an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Carolinas. One I'm so glad to see. So glad to see. I thank the Most High for the opportunity to be once again in the land of the living, singing Him praises. Hallelujah. 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 He's so worthy, family, and we're so blessed for the opportunity to be living in this time we find ourselves living. The greatest times of all. Because we're about to witness the greatest event in human history. Praise the Most High. Where the text calls it the regathering of His people. Where He said He's going to regather us from where He scattered us throughout the four corners of the earth. Praise the Most High. And it's written all in the text. It's written all in the books. Hallelujah. Most of the prophets speaks on it. A lot of the prophets spoke on it. Or they wrote it down. Praise the Most High, family. And that's the great secret. The great secret. Praise the Most High. And yeah, I finally got a t-shirt worked up. I've had one worked up before, but it didn't turn out like I wanted. But thank the Most High. If you care for something, you want to represent it well. So I decided to get me a Secret Place t-shirt made up. PS91, the Secret Place. And I wear this script proudly, family, because this script has gotten me through a whole lot of tough times. Just a reminder of Him that dwells in the secret place, which you could say abide in the secret place of the Most High, shall abide, as the text says, under the shadow of the Almighty. And we're always invited into the secret place, family. It's as simple as, praise the Most High, thank you, Father. It's as simple as turning back to Him in repentance. Saying I was wrong. Now I turn in my actions in repentance back to Him. In order to be back in His good graces, in order to re-enter into the secret place. And what I come to find out, family, it's a stance. Praise the Most High. It's a simple stance that you take in order pardon me, family. I still haven't heard back yet concerning my brace or AFO. It should be any time now, praise the Most High. That thing is tight on my foot. And while it's fresh on my mind, family, I owe everyone an apology because I got out of pocket. Yes, I did, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And I had to come and apologize because it has affected our community. I got out of pocket wanting to do some things that I'm not made to do. I want to take this channel or this page to a place that I haven't been called to take it to. I want to be like other folk. It's a shame. I'm laughing, but it's still a shame. I want to be like other folks and speak on end time prophecy, speak on the second coming. And the Most High allowed it a bit. But he was telling me this morning, he was like, Robert, that's not you. I've called you to be an example of true repentance. Praise the Most High. Hallelujah. And it really shook me up this morning because he was like, I called you to be unique. I didn't call you to speak on these end time prophecies. What's coming, the 400, all this, that, and the other. Yes, I allowed it here and there, but you are basically just an example of what I can do in a person's life that repents and submits to me. Speaking on repentance. And that's what this channel is all about. Repentance and turning back to our Elohim, Yahuwah, wholeheartedly and letting him clean us up and therefore using us. See, my channel, family, or our channel is all about our testimony. Solely about our testimony. That's why I will always say I'm nobody's teacher, preacher, or none of that. The Most High allow me to share ideas, and that's in our walk. And that's another thing he was telling me this morning. Our channel is solely dedicated to our walk with the Most High. After meeting him and seeing the results of what he can do with a life that totally submits to him, that repents and solely returns to him, as the text says, if my people. That could be another point of our main script of our channel. If my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways. See, that repentance is, on the most part, the important part of a man's relationship with the Most High, his walk with the Most High. See, you have to turn around and get back hand in hand and step in step with the Most High. And that's what this channel has been about, family. And on the most part, me sharing my addictions, my trials, my issues with my body. And see, the Most High allow us to share intimate details that other folk won't share about their lives. Simply because we're different. We're not here to debate. See, you can't debate, and that's what he was telling me this morning. He was like, you can't debate another person's testimony. Oh no, you can't debate that. You can't debate the miracles that the Most High has performed in their lives. And see, on the most part, you can't debate when they have the scars to prove it. See, they'll never be able to take this away from me, family. Never. They'll never be able to take that away. Them two lines in my chest and my scars on my leg and them 3 toes amputated. See, you can't take that away, family, and the story behind it, the testimony behind it. And you'll never be able to take away me telling my wife 2 months ahead of time, well, a month and 3 weeks ahead of time, that I was about to go through these things. Now, the Most High didn't say, Robert, you're about to have a stroke. He said you're about to see some things that's really going to make it hard, that's really going to test your faith. But no matter what you see, don't take your eyes off me, because I'll never leave you or forsake you. And from that time until this one, family, the Most High has never left me. Never let me down. And that's what the text means when they say I'll never forsake you. That means that, as just like he reminded me this morning, if I ask him for a piece of bread, will he give me a stone? And if I ask him for a piece of meat, will he give me a serpent, as the text says? No, he's been taking care of me and my household, family. Ever since he asked me, what do you want from me? And this was right before that first stroke in 2016. He said, what do you want? And I said, I want a closer walk with you. I said, I want wisdom, knowledge, like Solomon. He said, stop playing. What do you really want? I said, I want a closer walk with you, my wife, and my children, my sons. And that's what the stroke did, family. It made that possible. But you'll be surprised what hardship would do to a family. It'll bring them closer. Or to totally separate them. The family of the Most High is so good to us. Like I said, I owe all of us an apology, because just like yesterday, I had a whole live recording and got home, family, and I couldn't put it together. Like, something wrong with this. Something is wrong with this. I couldn't edit it, if you would say. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High, family. Yeah, we just had a fella pull up on beside us with all this noise. But we're going to keep moving, family. And like I said, forgive me, family, for getting out of pocket. Because, as I said, it has held up what the Most High has been doing with these recordings. Because I've been praying for more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with these recordings, trying to be like other folk. And he like, I'm just asking you to be yourself, be unique. And we share these ideas. This is what he shares with me every day. And of course, I do study end times and listen to other great teachers that's speaking on the end times. But on the most part, family, I'm just living a life before this camera that he's called me to live in repentance and a set apart life, set apart walk. And it's not easy, because you get to see things that most men wouldn't want to share. You get to hear a lot of secrets that most folks wouldn't want to share. But it's because the Most High has called me to this. But we are going to share this idea today, and I praise the Most High for it, because it's a part of what he's called us to do. All of us. And it's called Judgment of the Nations. Praise the Most High. Judgment of the Nations. And how did this judgment work, family? The text says, I didn't look it up, but it says that the Most High, that our people would go into bondage for 400 years, and afterwards the Most High would judge that nation, and we would come out with great substance. Now, in order for this thing to work, family, there has to be a work. Just like the text says, the Most High don't do anything without first consulting or telling his prophets. So it's a call that has to be made, family, in order for him to do his work on this earth, because he's given us the actual authority. He's given us lordship, if you would say. He's given us the authority over this earth, and he hasn't taken it back. So in order for him to do anything on this earth, he has to do it through a man. As we see, he did it through Yahushua HaMashiach. Praise the Most High. And now he's calling us to do the same work. But this work is a work of prayer, family, in order to bring along this judgment. And we'll look at the script to back this up. We'll look at Philippians 2:13. For the Most High is working in you giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. See, no matter how things look, family, this is the Most High's earth. This is his creation, and he does with it what he chooses. And he chose ahead of time to give it to man, just like he said, heaven belongs to him and the earth belongs to man. Dominion, that's the word we was thinking of before. He's given us dominion over it, to rule over it in his stead, if you would say. As Yahushua used the parable of the great king or the ruler going on a long trip, and he gave his leaders pretty much ownership of his property and wanted them to rule it. And he also gave them talents, gave them monies, certain amounts of money to each one. And he wanted his money, he wanted a profit from his money and his land. And that's how he's called us, family. To make a profit, or as the text says, to occupy until he comes. And occupy don't mean to sit still, it means to work. It means to hold the land, but also to grab more. Praise the Most High, family. What pleases him, family? His agenda. So his agenda is retribution, family. His agenda is what James Brown called the big payback. And we need to look at that script. But it's where he was speaking to Abram, saying that for a surety, your descendants will be carried into a land and oppressed for 400 years, but afterwards they would come out with great. Afterwards, he would judge them or that nation, and then they would come out with great substance. And other text says they would go on into the land that he promised them. First, going through the wilderness, where he said he would purge out the rebels. That means those that don't want to do right and are not going to do right in the land. Those that don't want to follow the rules. Rebels. That means they rebel against the truth. They rebel against what the Most High, his agenda. But then the text says in Proverbs 13:22, the benevolent man leaves an inheritance that endures to his children's children, but the wealth of the wicked is treasured up for the righteous. Oh boy, family. We got old players thinking they young. Come out here playing music. Well, we'll let them do what they do, old tales. Old tail playing music like he a chap. We're not gonna get upset though, we're just gonna move. See, we had that prerogative, family, just to move away. So we don't have to listen to it. We're gonna let him be him, right? See, when I was younger, family, I'd have said something to him. But we're not called to do that. We're called to be an example. Just like I said, once I repented, family, I turned away from my evil ways, away from those addictions. Now the Most High can use me for his agenda, his will, his plans, his desires. And part of it is being mature enough to say, that's not me. That's not my fight. That man gotta be about 70, family. Old player. But we move away from mess, and stay stress-free. So that fella got a problem. He saw me recording and then gonna turn it up louder. But that's his prerogative, right? For now, oh boy. Let's continue. And the idea I want us to see, family, is not only the evil man, but the good man. Not only the wicked man, but the benevolent man. In Proverbs 13:22, it says, the benevolent man leaves an inheritance that endures to his children's children. Now, what you think that inheritance is, family? Because it's not always money. No, sir. It's not always land. It's just what we were speaking on, family. That uniqueness, that being called apart, set apart lifestyle. That's what it is. It's a lifestyle. Like the text says, it endures to his children's children. It's the relationship with the Most High and us walking it out daily. And that's what he was telling me, family, this morning. He was giving me the business this morning, trust me. He was like, see, I called you to be this individual unique. And this is a daily walk. I want people to see you every single day because they're seeing an individual that used to be where they are. They used to be addicted to that blow in the nose. They used to be addicted to popping them pills. But you don't do it no more, and this is how you do it. You stay in the secret place. Hallelujah. You dwell in the secret place. You abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You stick in there with me, and there's rewards for sticking in there with me. I take care of you. Praise the Most High. And the text goes on to say, the wealth of the wicked is treasured up for the righteous. So, family, this is the payback that we've been talking about. The wealth of the wicked is treasured up for the righteous. Oh boy. Then Luke 8:17 says, for there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Now, Robert, why would you read that? Because in order to have payback, you have to see things must be revealed that needs revealing. It's like if you was done wrong, it needs to be revealed that somebody did you wrong in order to get you payback, in order to get you a fair judgment. Praise the Most High. That's very important, family. And this is what we're praying for. And see, the Most High had us praying. And let's read this one first. And it's right there in Luke also, but this time 18:1-8. And it's the parable of the persistent widow. Then Yahushua told his disciple a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, in a certain town there was a judge who neither feared the Most High nor cared what people thought. There was a widow in that town who kept coming to him with the plea, grant me justice against my adversary. And family, don't you know this is our prayer today? Grant us justice against our adversary. Because the Most High is He's not giving us the treasures of darkness or of the wicked just to be giving it to us. The text says, the wealth of the wicked is treasured up for the righteous. Those that are in right standing with the Most High, those that are carrying out his agenda on this earth. And we're praying for this justice. We're praying for the disclosure of the wrong deeds done to our people. And it will be brought into the open, as it says there in Luke. And see, that's what the widow was praying for. She said, grant me justice against my adversary. And see, that's what we're calling for, family. We're calling for justice against our adversaries, our open enemies, those that put abortion clinics in our neighborhood and not in other neighborhoods. See, all this is being brought into the open, family. It's been open war on our people. And I thank the Most High for our worldwide audience. I saw the other day, well, a couple of months ago, we'll say, that I had a subscriber in Africa. And we thank the Most High for my brother. And I believe in Australia also. Praise the Most High for our sisters and brothers all around the four corners of the earth, who are now, all of us are calling out for justice against this devil and his children. And the text goes on to say, well, let's read that one more time. The widow said, grant me justice against my adversary. Now, how is he going to bring justice to the woman's adversary if there was hidden, if the hidden wasn't disclosed, or the concealed wasn't brought out into the open? And see, that's what she was doing by airing it to the judge. Evidently, it was an open and shut case. She had the proof that he needed to make the right judgment. And not only the proof, but the persistence in staying in his face. And see, family, we have the same going to the Most High in prayer for him to grant us justice against our adversary. Just as the text says. And see, all we're doing is playing our role. He said he's going to judge those nations who treated us horribly, who oppressed our people for the 400 years we're being oppressed. So all we're doing is praying for him to do what he said, just like Daniel did when he figured out that the time was up. He went and studied, and in the text it said, your 70 years is about up. So he started praying. Our 70 years is about up. We need you to show us and tell us what to do. So the Most High showed him and told him what to do. And see, we're in the same predicament, family. We're at the end of this 400-year oppression and slavery. And we also know that the text says there in Baruch number 2 that he will cause us to remember ourselves in the land of our captivities. And now that we're remembering ourselves, we're calling out for justice, family. We're saying we've been done wrong and we want to be paid back fully. And no, we don't want nobody giving us nothing. We want the Most High to pay us back. That means he'll take from them and pay us back. As the text says, he'll judge them. And then we'll come out with great substance. See, he's the great judge. He'll cause his angels to seize our treasure and say, give them their treasure. Give them what's owed to them from this 400-year bondage and oppression. Praise the Most High. And the text goes on to say, verse 4, for some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, even though I don't fear the Most High or care what people think, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, she was a bugaboo. I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't even eventually come and attack me. And the Most High said, listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not the Most High bring about justice for his chosen ones? Will not he do it, family? And see, this is Yahusha speaking about the parable he just gave us. And will not the Most High bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? Oh boy, now it says, no, he's not going to do that. I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith or belief on the earth? What a question, family. Is he going to find belief on the earth? from his chosen ones. Are we still going to be believing that he's going to do what he said? And see, that's all belief is, family. Believing what someone else said. If he said he's going to do something, we're going to believe that he's going to do it. Hallelujah. The big payback, judgment on the nations. The big payback, judgment of the nations. Hallelujah, family. And it's time for us not only to believe, but act on it. So how are we going to act on our belief? That's a good question. How are we going to act on our belief, family? Through prayer. Through doing what he tells us to do. And he said, if my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray. See, this humbling part means, family, we don't have the answers. We're beyond understanding of what to do next. We need help. So we're calling on him. That's what humbling means, to say, I don't know the answer to this. I'm calling on the one greater than me. And pray. And then turn from our wicked ways. See, there has to be a turning, family, before the Most High will start pouring out blessings on us. But it's time to pray, family. We spoke on prayer all last week. And we're going right back into the same thing this week, because that's who we are. We're called to prayer. We're called to pray. And we're a unique group of people, family, that the text says the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And as we saw last week, we had testimony from our prayer, and the Most High has moved on our behalf, and will continue to. And he gave me a vision last evening, I believe, family, or yesterday morning it was. It was such a powerful vision. I'm not going to share it, but it was showing us on the other side of what we're praying for. The blessing. We have to trust him, family. We have to search the scripts, as he had me doing this morning, with just these few scripts, and formulate it into a prayer. And let's finish this script, and we're going to go. I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. Oh boy. Let's read that again from 6. And Yahushua said, listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not the Most High bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? That means consistently, family. Like the widow. She kept showing up. And that's what we're doing until we're delivered. Until we get what we're calling out for. Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they get justice, and quickly. However, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith or belief on the earth? Will he find it within you? Will he find trust in you? Strong trust, strong belief. Where no matter what you see, you don't take your eyes off him. You say, nope, he promised this, that's what he's going to do. Praise the Most High, family. We love you so much. And we ask you to stand with us in prayer this week for the big payback, the judgment of the nations. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. We love you so much. Stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. And stay up in the secret place, family. Praise the Most High. Shalom.